It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Oh, listen to that sound. Oh, is there anything better? It is time for a little baby talk. How young is too young for your baby to start exercising? Never too young. Well, I'm not talking about sending them off to lift dumbbells or kettlebells in the gym, but of course, physical development is vitally important. And this morning, we're focusing on the different stages of that development and what we as parents can do to assist. Joining us is early intervention occupational therapist Elise Lacona.
Thank you very
so
much for being here.
You see how excited we are?
Yeah, especially to talk about
see.
this particular topic.
I know.
But because I remember one of the first things that the pediatrician remarked is like, "Oh my goodness, he's so strong.
Look at his muscle tone."
You can't pull like his arm away from his biceps. You know, this is my little side that I'm talking about now. But apparently, babies already start working out in the womb. Is that even true, Elise?
Yes, so they start very early on. So basically, sensations are food or nourishment for the brain.
Yes.
And if you think in utero, basically just the womb providing deep pressure, so that calms the baby, which is very important for you now, just to provide the same input to calm your baby. And then also every time they move their arm or kick, their legs, especially as they grow bigger, it's deep proprioceptive feedback to the brain, and that actually helps to develop the muscle tone. So every time they kick, it's literally like a gym workout.
Proprioception, that's been our word of the year, actually.
Proprioception.
It really
Absolutely,
has been.
yes.
So let's jump ahead to those first 2 months, the phase that you are now kind of halfway through or in the thick of what's going on in terms of their physical development there, and because everything's interlinked, I would imagine the brain is also kind of going through quite a vital stage.
The brain plays the vital role there, yes. So what babies do is they use all the senses together to actually do their development. So, for example, the touch and proprioception again helps just for calming your mother-infant bonding. That's very important for that. Also, just in terms of sucking and eating, that's very important.
Yeah.
And then if you look at the movement system together with the proprioception, it just helps for balance, muscle tone again, posture, just letting them lift their head. So what you want to do in that first 2 months is literally hold the baby so that the baby can actually start lifting their head up.
Okay.
And start doing reps.
Gravity plays a big role there.
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought something was wrong because whenever I hold him or his mom holds him, he's always here.
Yeah.
Like, and he's there. And I'm like, what are you looking at? What are you looking for? And I'm always trying to turn around to adjust his position, but it's absolutely natural and vital to his development at this time.
It is vital, yes.
But do you find that new parents cuddle their children too much? Do they?
Don't you dare! Don't you dare say it.
No, listen to the truth. Do we swaddle them too much and restrict that movement that they need?
Swaddling and calming is very important in the first few months. So no, I mean, it's very important, so you must do it. But what happens sometimes is parents are scared to challenge the babies. So here by 2 to 3 months, you want the baby to be more on the tummy, to start putting weight through the arms and lifting up, so that also gravity can do their work and also go into that back muscle so that the baby can start lifting up more.
And the second that
very
happens on the
important.
belly, when they're lifting, you are behaving like they've just done a triple tuck somersault in front of your very eyes. They have lifted their head. It really is amazing. And so what can we do as parents, and especially moms who have that very close physical and emotional relationship to help them in that critical early stage of physical development?
To help encourage the development.
Yeah.
So what you can do if your baby don't like, tummy time, is to just start on you, and just literally talk to the baby that the baby starts lifting up. And then eventually you can move to the bed and literally just roll up a little blankie and put it underneath the arms.
Okay.
So that the baby can just be a little bit more supported but still get the deep pressure through the elbows.
Yes.
Okay.
I was told this, and I don't know if it's an old wives' tale, but after bath time, right, get baby oil in their hands, nicely warm up, and then when you rub it in, stretching their legs and stretching their arms. Is that good or bad?
That's very good. So we call it baby massage.
Yes.
And it's lovely when parents do that. And especially, like I said just now, for bonding and calming, it's very important. What you can use is just natural oils like coconut oil, grapeseed oil. It's better than baby oil.
Yeah.
But to just start doing that, and there's nice techniques that you can be taught as parents. But yes, to just get that deep pressure through the legs, and it's nice for body awareness. together with that bonding.
And it becomes part of the routine.
And you know it's effective when it's accompanied with like a little Yeah, that's the
But
one.
that happens because they just relax.
Yeah,
So
they're chilling out, man.
that's what
Now it's
happens,
got to
and
the
that's
point where I
what
can
you
get him to flex the leg muscles, and then they can work through. It's a sports massage. You've got to do it, man. This is absolutely beautiful, and hopefully it's inspiring you to take a different approach to the physical development, and it just becomes so much more enriching from a bonding experience as
Yes.
well, which is lovely. But we're
Yes.
going to continue this chat.
Yeah, I think we do still have a bit more time to chat about this. Oh, not right now, a little bit later on. I'm just so
We're gonna
enamored with
demand it, in
I just
fact.
want to sit here and talk baby all the time. You can give us a call on 0214309881 and we'll be back shortly.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
It's at moments like this I realize fatherhood is great. I love it. I love it. All right, we're hanging out with Elise Lacona, who's an early intervention occupational therapist, and we're talking baby talk and about those early developmental stages of your child, especially physically. So between 4 and 6 months,
Yes.
what can parents expect to see from their little one?
So from 4 to 6 months, it's really getting exciting. So then the baby starts doing more, especially with their hands. So literally they will grasp a little bit better, and just like banging on a table, and that reaction is like, oh, I can actually do something with my environment. So that's lovely. And they start bringing their hands together, bringing toys together and starting to bang it. So that's very exciting from that point of view. And then also putting more weight on their hands and on their feet and to going towards crawling. So it's more the locomotor stage where they actually, from 6 months onwards, starts to move a little bit more. So they're on their way there.
So excited
I
to
know,
go
dude. I'm
home
just
right
thinking
now.
back
I
of
wanna
all
go.
those stages in reverse now. We've got Karaba on the line from Joburg. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm all good. Thank you for having me there.
An absolute pleasure, man. Are you a new father?
I'm a new father, my God. I'm a new father.
Yeah, man.
Love you, dude. What's your question? We've got an expert in the house.
All right, thank you. I have a daughter who's going to be just 10 months on the 23rd this month. So when she moves, I bought her a walking ring a while back. She moves, it's like her feet are not part of her body, and she only started crawling just last night, actually.
Oh, congratulations.
Is this late for baby's development, or am I just freaking out?
Okay, before I hand this over, because obviously these were questions that I had to go through myself, so don't freak out, dude. Babies all move at their own pace, but I'm going to ask Elise to break it down. What's going on at that stage? And it's 10 months. That is quite late in a development. But what's going on there, do you think?
So it's difficult to say if I haven't seen the baby, but it is definitely from 6 months onwards. It's more, like I said now, the locomotor stage, where they start being more active and moving around. So it depends on the baby, and we have to go back to the developmental milestones. Did the baby like tummy time? Did the baby have enough time in tummy time to actually go to crawling? So if they didn't have enough tummy time, they will have probably problems with crawling. The big thing that you mustn't do is you must do is actually encourage crawling.
Encourage crawling, not walking.
Encourage it, yes, not walking. So don't rush the process to walking.
Don't freak out.
It's okay,
relax.
Karabo, it's okay. Have a listen to the TV right now while we get in the
No,
answer.
completely, dude. But that's the main thing.
yeah.
Let that
Yeah.
cycle happen. Let her crawl as much as possible.
Absolutely, and figure it out from there and get stronger by pushing up and staying there, yes.
Okay, all right. Like I'm literally thinking about all the things that are going on right now. Because sometimes, yeah?
Walking rings. Well, before we leave that, how do you
Which one's
feel?
yours?
Because I've heard such conflicting kind of
Absolutely.
things about it.
Yes.
We didn't really utilize it, but how do you feel? You would know.
Walking rings is not good, so rather burn it if you've got it,
wow.
literally in that sense. Yes, what walking rings literally gets it baby up in vertical position too soon. So the baby is not ready for it yet. So the best you can do for your baby is to have the baby on the floor and starting to push up and getting that weight shifting from the one side of the body to the other side.
Yes.
And that will help the baby to go to walking later. And the longer they are in crawling is actually the better.
Yeah.
They're also building kneecaps. All of these things, the body's got
Yeah.
to develop their
The
core,
thing is, the
all of
walking
that.
ring is also not safe because what happens is the baby's feet just literally touches the floor,
Yeah.
and they get like a reflex, a walking reflex, and they can actually go very fast in that. And what can happen is they can trip and they hit first on the floor. So it's not safe. Parents always think, oh, I put my baby in there and it's safe and I can.
It's great
do
for
the
us as
cooking.
well because it looks like your baby's learning to walk.
Yeah. All right, we've got another caller on the line from Tembisa. Alphys is in the building.
Yes.
Thank you very much for the
Yes,
call. What
welcome,
is
man.
your question?
My question is, I got a boy who is 2 years, 2 months.
Uh-huh.
So every time he's not walk, but his feet are strong that he can stand to stand.
Yes.
But every time when he's walking inside the house, he have to grab something, to hold something just to move around the house.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know what is the problem there, or is that he, like let's say the child is not yet strong for him to
right.
to walk around the house, or there
Okay.
is something that he delays him to walk.
All right, so you're
And
saying
he's
2
just over
years.
2 years, eh?
Hello?
2 years, 2 months, I heard you say.
Yeah, 2 years, 2 months.
Okay.
Alphys, thank you so much, man.
So if a baby is not walking by 2 years, I would rather go to either occupational therapist or physiotherapist to look at the development, because babies start walking around 1 year already. So like I said again, it's difficult not to see the child, but if the baby needs assistance or even holding on to something when the baby is 2 years old.
And would that most likely be a muscular, or would that be a balance and innate? Yeah, what
It
do you
could be
think?
either one, so
Yeah.
it can be lots of different things. So when we look at the babies, we actually go back to the medical history, we go back to even prenatal, postnatal period, and I look at the whole history, you know, how the development is up to that stage. And to see, is it a balance thing maybe? It could be an inner ear thing. Sometimes they have ear infections for long periods, and then it throws off their balance. Or it can be a muscular thing.
Yeah.
So we need to go back to the history, medical history.
And get advice from a professional.
And get advice, definitely, especially at 2 years.
There's so many questions I have, but I'm so excited. We're playing a new game now. It's called Fufi, Fufi. It means to fly. So I hold him like this, and then I put my
the
hands
call.
under, and I go, Fufi, 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 and then he's like,
Mind blown.
it works every time. I love it. Thank you, Lee.
Oh, you're a champion. Thank you so much.
Thank
That's
you
been
very